So here we are in Lightroom, and this is going to be sort of a follow-up to the Madison video you may have seen where I did a point of view video at night. This is the following day on State Street and also around the Capitol where they have a farmer's market. It's probably the largest farmer's market in the state, I believe, first or second. So I was with my family here, so I wasn't completely in, street photographer mode or zone or whatever. But I had, a couple hours here. So these were my keepers. And we're going to just run through an initial edit. This guy was holding, this is at the farmer's market, obviously. This guy is holding something. And I just kind of want it to be about that. So something like that is kind of neat. This is kind of early in the morning, maybe 7:30-ish, somewhere in there. I'm just gonna pop some vibrance, bring the whites down a little bit, but that's not too bad. One of these things again. I kind of like the green, that red up there again. That's going to be the issue. Red is color I'm trying to avoid. I could always go to 8x10 too. Give me a little more width, but then that I'm starting to get like his butt and things like that, and I just want to keep that red out of there and that ooey thing over here. I kind of want it to be about the backpack and that. There we go. Dehaze up a little bit. That's not too bad. The story here is kind of like Madison Farmers Market, something like that. And I put the Capitol building in the background, so it definitely needs some pop here. But I wanted a slow shutter speed. I wish more people had bags like this. That to me kind of says farmers market. I like the blurry person in front, especially. They're all blurry. I wish they were a little bit blurrier. If I really wanted to, I suppose I could change the crop and just kind of eliminate them. But I do like that tree. I wish more of that tree was in there. So I guess it's one of those things. If I want the tree, maybe I just move like that. Something like that. Kind of cool. I would just call it Madison Farmers Market, something like that. This is neat because the sun was kind of low. This is at the end of October. So I just want to straighten it out a little bit. Maybe increase the shadows overall. But a lot of my street work, I don't go too crazy with editing. It has to be something really special before I'm gonna take it in Photoshop and do a lot of crazy stuff. But that's kind of cool. I like the trees kind of masking the building here. I love reflections of buildings in other buildings, so this is kind of neat because you have kind of the opposite. You have this building which is basically just glass, and then it's sheer kind of blue, and then it's reflecting the brown. Maybe an older building across the street. It's nothing too awesome, but it's not bad. I love the lighting here. This was really neat how these people were walking to this coffee shop. So I want a little bit of the chairs, and I don't want this kind of white brown building, whatever that is over there. I want it to be mostly about the building, but just some chairs in the foreground. It's very warm. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of neat. Let's see what the shadows do. No, I kind of like the mystery. Bring the shadows down. Really makes that kind of pop. Straighten it out a little bit. That's kind of nice, actually. Here's from the opposite way. So I walked a little bit down the road and then turned around to get it going this way. I don't know which is better. I kind of like this, just the single guy walking you through. It's nice and warm. I'm actually going to bring the temperature down just a little bit. But that, you know, it's kind of neat. I don't know. There's that one. It's got reflection in the windows and things. And this you don't have that. But this is some guy with a cool beret hat on, and he was taking a selfie. And I think the problem with this one's going to be that guy's over there. I'd love to have it like this maybe, but this guy over here kind of bothers me. Now I'm really cropping in tight, and I just don't know if it's going to hold together. I mean, it's starting to, what's my ISO? 640 isn't too bad, but maybe if I do this and this, that is not very much of the photo though. So I'm not sure, but it is kind of neat. Maybe in black and white. Yeah, black and white might work because of the blue. Maybe something like that. Looks like it needs a little more on the white side, but you know, just the hat and the selfie, and then you can see him. I kind of like it. This, because it was around Halloween, there must have been something going on at the Capitol with some sort of concert or performance. So I saw a couple like teenagers or kids with costumes carrying these instruments, and this kid's carrying a huge cello, it looks like. Yeah, I like the bumper, the sticker right there. Let this load up. I love cello. That's cool. So don't really know if I need the trees to frame it or if it's just about that. It's nothing special. It's not bad. Black and white or color. Kind of like the color if we really pop them a little bit. This is the Forward Marching Band. These had so many people watching them. It was just really neat to see this band in these costumes because of Halloween, and really upbeat and energetic, and it was just it was really neat to stumble upon that. I mean, they were playing really loud, and everyone, there were cars stopping. It was just something that you probably wouldn't see in Appleton. You might, but just really neat how they are individually. So I spent quite a bit of time photographing them. That's a horizontal. I'm not a big fan of that. But this lady with the shark hat, that was awesome. I really was kind of digging the shark head trying to play the trumpet. Looks like a trumpet there. I'm not a real musical instrument person, but let's bring it up a little bit. Dehaze, a little clarity. Kind of straighten. You know, it's one of these things where it's so wacky, you almost wanna turn it, but then I'm cutting her foot off, things like that. So now I'm like, do you zoom in like that? That's actually kind of neat. I like it. This was the best one. This little woman or girl or whoever it is, she was really getting into it. And it's one of these things, again, because of the energy of it, I do want to tilt it. Normally my real estate side comes out and I want to make sure everything is straight and even and horizontals and verticals and stuff like that. And in this one, I don't really care. I want it to be crooked. That is pretty neat. I'm just gonna move this over here a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Oh, the flames. Look at the flames coming out of that. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I focused on this woman's hat as she was watching the band, and I don't know if it's a different perspective, that's for sure. It's definitely something different. But I'm not sure if I'm digging that. It's kind of neat, but I don't know if the red is, all that red, pops of red is distracting from the hat. So I could black and white it, which I think might make it a little more effective. So that's not too bad. This guy, even though he's really grumpy, there's this guy with this Bible verse, and I kind of want I don't want everything on the left here, but I do want, like this, he's obviously being kind of blasted with the sun here. So I always bring texture up a little bit, and I think this definitely calls for black and white, that the color, the blue and these pops of red, all that gets distracting. And I do want him a little bit closer like that. Sometimes cutting off feet and things like that, well, I'm gonna lose them. I'm gonna lose that one woman looking. I definitely want to keep her in. Might be a little too much. This is one of these where cropping is kind of important. That is kind of neat. I like that. Here we went to a terrace, the student union actually for UW-Madison, and this was a little bit trying to channel my inner Ernst Haas here. If you've ever seen his famous sailboat photo, taking much different lighting conditions than this. This I tried to slow the shutter speed down, did get overexposed, tried to put a little bit, I moved the camera. I'm trying to get a little bit of motion in here. And I don't know if like the buoys are even kind of moved. I'm not really sure. I always pick up clarity and dehaze. You know, it's kind of interesting. I almost wish it was a little bit closer though. Let's really get to the boats here. There we go. Darken it up a little bit. Something like that. Here's a more normal one with just the boats. I am not feeling it as much as that one, so we're just gonna undo that one. This, I just love this couple with the two hats. It just was really about them. They were standing across the street from me on State Street, and I kind of like the tree shadow. Put part of this tree here, so that there's like tree and tree. Even though I don't think that's, yeah, it is. It is the tree that was causing the shadow. That's even better. So this isn't going to take a lot of editing. This will be some dehaze, some clarity. Maybe bring the highlights down a little bit. Rescue that hat she's wearing a little bit. And I think I'm really liking the black and white here. For that, just very simple. I just want it to be about, and I love the fact that she's got his arm and things like that. That's a nice little picture. This one, I loved her look. I was actually sitting eating pizza and I saw her looking out the window, and I'm trying to take pictures with like a greasy pizza hand. So don't know, you know, I'm thinking just kind of frame her with the window. Though I do like the stuff off to the side. I do like this kind of tree, but then I got this other hand here. So I'm thinking I will do something like this. I'm gonna try auto. It corrected it a little bit. I think it might have corrected it almost enough. Here's my architectural side coming out. I want that horizontal on the bottom to be straight. So here, I'm gonna, well, the shadows. See, if you boost the shadows all the way up, you're seeing the dirty window, you're seeing inside the restaurant a little bit. So this is one of these moments where I am actually going to mask and use the brush and just pop a little bit in the front here. I don't want the back of her jacket. That's kind of inside the restaurant. So now I just increase the exposure. It's got to be believable. If it's, you know, if it's like that's not believable. I just want a little bit of extra pop on her because I darken those shadows so much. So something like that. Actually kind of cool. It doesn't really need much more. I think that's believable. Yeah, that'll work. I like that. Black and white, I think, is what I'm feeling with this one. So let's keep that. A little bit of clarity. The whites are suffering though. It's the only bad thing. There we go. Something like that. That's really nice. In fact, the only thing I might consider doing would be 8 by 10 maybe? I don't know. No, maybe not. I do kind of like the fact that this is a really tall window. I kind of want to show that and have her kind of at the bottom. Like that. That's kind of nice. Just these gloves right here. I love the one hand. I love the one arm like behind his back. I think that's really neat. Just very simple. Up the vibrance, up. Little bit of shadow work. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the whole thing that needs it. And then again, a little bit of clarity, a little bit of dehaze. It's always kind of my go-to to make things pop. This one I included as a keeper because I wanted you to see what I was thinking, but it didn't work. There was a cat painted, Halloween cat, and there was a dog across the street. And I was kind of trying to focus on the dog, but the window and the smudges on it, the camera wouldn't focus. So it gave me the cat, and I wanted the dog framed by the cat, and it just is not gonna work. You can't really tell. So, but this one did work. This is the woman inside the ghost. I kind of like that. I don't know how much to include. Oops, I cut off the ghost fingers. So let's do, actually, I'm thinking 8 by 10. I want to keep that cone in there. It was at an ice cream shop. They had the windows painted really neat. So again, a little bit of texture, a little bit of clarity, a little bit of dehaze. Then it comes down to highlights, vibrance, to make that pop, and that's probably it for that. This guy was just walking up and down State Street with this gourd in his hand, and so I've got, this is one of these things, if I would have been in front of him, I think it would have changed how he reacted. So, and again, I'm gonna make this, give it a little more action and make it crooked. It looks like I might have done some tweaking on this one already. So that is kind of neat. I'm wondering, I actually like the black and white, I think, better. So that's what I got. Those are actually, I don't think there's any like really amazing super shots that I got during the daytime here for a couple hours, but it was a nice variety. You can get a nice variety in Madison depending on your personality and what you're looking for, your subject matter, if you're working on any projects. Definitely some nice light here in the morning. I got some nice black and whites. That one I don't know if I'll do anything with. It's kind of interesting, but I don't know. These band ones were just fun. These are just unique. They were just so energetic and a lot of fun to watch. It was one of the highlights of our little overnight trip for sure. So a couple of these I'll go back and look at and see if I want to do anything. I'm kind of digging that one. I don't know why so much. Just a little bit of movement. I don't know. That's pretty simple. Simple can be effective. That one too. Simple but effective. Simple. Don't know about that one. Maybe a little too busy. I probably won't do anything with that one. That one's interesting. So that was my daytime little Madison venture at the farmers market and up and down State Street and kind of visiting the campus a little bit. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave me any questions or comments below, and I hope to see you on the streets soon doing some shooting. Thanks. Bye-bye.